Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I took a few days off just to clear my mind. There's been so much unrest in this country, so much arguments, so much just literal foolishness. Excuse me. It's just been crazy. Absolutely crazy. You would think with all of this violence that has happened in the last few days that the NRA would have canceled their convention, but no, they have not. There were a lot of people who were supposed to speak who decided not to. But it just baffles my mind how much people just don't care. You know, it's I tell you. And then we have all these issues happening with the Texas police that were first on the scene, the first responders on the scene to the school shooting that all of us have been glued to the news watching. And it seems like their story has changed over a dozen times, because the timeline shows that this shooter was in the school unengaged for over an hour. And there was even a report of a young girl who called her family. I guess she had a cell phone, and she called her family saying that, I don't know, something to the effect, I'm just paraphrasing, but something to the effect that she was hiding, but she was afraid that he was gonna, the shooter was gonna find her. She was hiding in a classroom or something. And she was indeed killed. Then there was another student who, her classmate is deceased near her, and she covered herself in blood and played dead. This is a sick world that we live in. And people keep bringing up mental health, and I know this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'm not saying that mental health is not a factor, because obviously if you take someone's life for no reason, it is not self-defense, it is not a freak accident of some kind. Of course there's something wrong with you, but you knew enough to shoot your own family member at home and then come around to a school and organize yourself to be able to get past an armed guard, which I don't think a lot of people knew that until a couple days later, that the school had an armed guard as well. This is just the most, I don't know. I don't know what's worse, from Columbine to Sandy Hook to, all these different situations. I don't even know, other than the count of lost lives, I don't know, every story is worse than the last. It's just disgusting to me. And then you have police that are saying that they did not want to go in to the school. or they were hesitant to go into the school. And I want to say the police chief then spoke, I think it was yesterday or maybe earlier today, talking about, well, we don't want them to get shot. Well, then why are you law enforcement then? If you're military and you're going to war, the possibility of you getting hurt is pretty high in war. If you become a police officer or any type of law enforcement, the possibility of you getting shot or, God forbid, even losing your life is a possibility. That is something that is very ugly, but it comes with the job. And if you're going to take that job, this is not pushing paper behind a desk. And I know a lot of people listen to my podcast from all different types of walks of life. I say that all the time. There are police officers who listen to my podcast, friends of mine. I have several friends who are police officers, and I'm looking at y'all like, okay, did you go, this is a serious question, did you get into police work because you just wanted to just do a job, or the job? Because some people just go just for the paycheck and just get a job, and then some people really go into the profession because they really want to do the job. I would never want any police officer, law enforcement, whatever it is, to be hurt. That is not the goal. You don't get up in the morning and say, I aim to, get hurt today, in my law enforcement position. No, that's not the goal, obviously, is to preserve life all the way around. But for somebody to be loose in a school for over an hour with young kids, what is the strategy there? Is there some sort of, this is serious questions, like, is there some sort of training? Is there some sort of, tactical, I don't even know what the fancy words are for these things. You know what I mean? Task force, whatever. What do you do? Is there something, where you clear one section, okay, he's not over here. You clear the next section, okay, he's not over there. Clear this, you know what I mean? Like, there's gotta be something. This was a school full of children. And there is video. There's like a 2-minute video going around of parents wanting to run into the school themselves to help the kids. And the police pushing them back. But they're not going in. They're begging them, please, what are you going to do? You're just going to stand outside? And they can hear the shots going off. That's crazy to me. I can't imagine this. Again, I am not law enforcement. I don't know all the details of these things, but if you are, share the details. Share what is the protocol? If there is some sort of protocol that you can speak about with the public, we need to understand this protocol because it's looking real shaky right now. Because apparently the story keeps on changing about who was to do what, who was to, do this, and who was, it keeps on changing amongst, I don't know if it was one police department that went in or a couple of them, I don't know. But whoever was on the scene, as far as law enforcement is concerned, there are several different variations of stories. And that's so unsettling. I think it was Jasmine Sullivan who posted, I think she posted this in her stories, that one of her friends in Philly, their child, one of the classmates of her child's school, brought a loaded gun to school, and they had to be on lockdown to get control of the situation. Where does a child get a loaded gun to bring to school? So this now says to me, a lot of this is stemming from home. And this is the reason why gun laws need to be more strict, because we cannot have this sort of mayhem and foolishness going on. And when I say be more strict, again, I am not telling you that you should not be able to bear arms. It is a right. But even with you having a license, a gun license, you need to be properly trained. And now you have, in the state of Texas, you can own a gun without a background check. That's now signed into law. What sense does that make? This man who did this to these 19 children and 2 adults. This is 21 families, immediate families, and the extended community of people, the state, the country, the world, who has been watching this for the past few days. You don't think that people need background checks? This guy was able to go in on his 18th birthday and purchase 2 high-powered firearms, not even handguns, ARs. Like, what do you need that for? Those sort of artillery is for war, not for the. Listen, this has really gotten to me. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like this time it feels different. I don't know if I've ever said that about any other gun incident, mass shooting incident ever. This time feels a lot different than the others. And I don't know why that is. I have no idea, but it feels different. It feels like people are finally fed up. More public figures, politicians, celebrities, and even the common citizen are piping up a lot louder than I've seen in past incidents, especially since we got hit with the 1-2 punch within not even 2 weeks of each other. I think 9 or 10 days since the shooting in Buffalo. And then also the incident that happened in Milwaukee. I'm just trying to understand. What are we doing? When you have basketball coaches, you have the announcer at, I forgot what arena it was. The dude who talks over the PA says something about gun control, and the crowd erupts in agreement. This is different, but we have to show it in the polls. We have to show it with the votes. There was a sister, I wish I could remember her name. I may get some more information on her and come back with the details about her talking about insurance. She said, hit people in the insurance. If you start doing all these strict insurance for all these gun situations, these gun companies, these insurance companies, the insurance companies, they're not going to want to do all these payouts. They're not going to want to do it. You insure your entire family from tip to toe, then they are going to go toe to toe with the NRA. And I'm going to get all these details because the video was so on time, and I think I saved it, but I have to go back and look at it and get some more details from it. But I'm telling you, if you guys may see this video because it's going viral. And it's about the insurance companies going head to head with the NRA if we really want to put a dent in what's happening. So I don't want to take up all of my podcasts talking about this, the different episodes, but it is just really important. And I'm going to stress the voting, because voting is so important. You have to get these people out of office. Anybody, I'm telling you, go to opensecrets.org or .com, whatever one it is, and follow the money. Ted Cruz got 13 point something million from the NRA. Of course, he's never going to speak against them. Of course, he's going to give thoughts and prayers. Follow the money. And there's a whole lot of other folks on that list who got several million from the NRA, because that is one of their supporters. If you have interest, they've been lobbying them. That is why they vote the way that they do. So we have to vote the way that we need to get them out of office. November elections are going to be on fire. People are trying to show up and show out on both sides. We just have to make sure that the sensible side wins. And what that means is to make sure that you don't sit out on these votes. If you are eligible to vote, get out and vote. Don't just sit back and let there be millions and millions of people who didn't vote. It's like throwing a boxing match. Let me just lay down real quick and just collect my little, pay, my little purse, and keep it moving. No, this is a fight. That's all I can say right now. Again, I'm not trying to take up all of these episodes of my podcast with this, but if I feel led to talk about it again, I will. Because this is so serious. There are 21 families that are hurting. One of the teachers that was killed, this was another thing, and I'm going to end on this because this is crazy. One of the teachers that was killed, one of the two adults, she's been teaching for 20 years or close to it. Been married to her husband over 20 years. She loses her life in this horrific massacre. And her husband, just a couple days later, has a heart attack. And dies. That man literally died of a broken heart. Can you imagine their family? And they have 4 children. Lost their mother horrifically, and then a couple days later, their father. He probably couldn't even handle it. I don't know what it's going to take us to make these changes. I don't know everything, but we can at least start with putting the right people into office and voting these other people out. We can keep this conversation going. I've already had to, swoop a couple people off of my Instagram, so don't come on my Instagram talking crazy, because you will get blocked. The block ministry over here is mad strong. Trust me when I tell you. But if you want to have an intelligent conversation, if you even can shed some light on things that we can do and how we can get active. I know that my church is very active within the community, so I do belong and sit on a couple of boards that are dealing with this head on. But we have to see this through. We have to start replacing these senators that are just doing absolutely nothing. Governors who are doing absolutely nothing. Stacey Abrams, she got enough through the primary. She's our pick. And let's hope that we can push her through into November and beyond, because she's so needed. Her grassroots efforts here in Georgia are amazing, impeccable. That woman is a powerhouse, and they know it, and they're scared of it. She's our pick, so let's see it through. Find me on social media at Onyx Queen Media. Again, do not do foolishness on the social media tip. You can have your opinion. I respect people's opinions. I'm not a name caller and all that sort of stuff. I respect people's opinions, even if it's the opposite of mine. But I'm not going to tolerate disrespect. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.